Hello everybody on Trans Youth. This is me, Teja, and I am here to do another video. It is Thursday, so that means it is my day. And if you ever want to know any more information about me, you can always check out my own channel, which is XO?OX. This week's topic is about disowning your family. So I'm going to really jump into this because the longer my video is, the longer it takes to upload, and my internet is not the best here, so it's a little bit slower for me. Anyway, where to start with this one? First of all, this is a re-recorded video. I had recorded one earlier in the week. Most of my recordings are pre-recorded, and I just felt after the last couple of postings that after watching other people's opinion, it kind of makes me feel like I jumped the gun a little bit. So this time I've waited until the actual day to make my video so that I had time to watch everyone else's video and then hopefully make a more well-rounded review, or give you a more well-rounded view of what I think and my opinion. I have to say, not a whole lot has changed, but I just wanted to kind of broaden my view a little bit. First of all, in my case, my family and my friends have been extremely supportive of me in what I do, anything that I do. And, you know, I have the best family in the world, and I couldn't have asked for a better family. In the same token, there are some aspects of my family life that aren't picture perfect. And, you know, I can kind of relate to this topic. In my case, my parents, my birth mother and birth father, are divorced. I have a wonderful stepfather who has been in my life since I was very young. And, you know, both my mother and my stepfather support me in everything. They have been absolutely superb. They've been great. They have been definitely the people who I go to for anything and everything. And without them, I would be lost. I'm not going to lie. But they have shaped and made me who I am today, and I always have them to thank for that. In the case of my birth father, though, he went through a rough period in his life, which ultimately affected mine and my mother's life when I was younger. And that carried on even after they were divorced through my childhood and into my early adolescence. And so because of that, I've never really had a strong relationship with my father. It's always been very strained. When I was younger, I always wanted a proper relationship with my father because he's my father. What can you say? Every child wants both of their parents to have a relationship with both of their parents because they want to be loved and accepted, and, you know, have all the questions that they want answered in their life. And so, you know, when I was younger, I did crave that. But when I got the attention, it always had a negative adverse effect on everyone and everything else around me. So as I got older, you know, me and my father lost contact, and about 2 years ago, my father resurfaced out of nowhere and decided to pick me up from work. That I had no idea. He just picked me up from work and decided to hang out with me. And honestly, you know, I give it a good hard try. You know, he's my father. What else do I have to do but to give him the time of day? So, you know, I did. And I spent a lot of time with him during the course of that summer, hanging out with my father, getting to know my father, all of those things. And basically, towards the end of that, and right before I moved here to England, I decided for myself that it is best if I do not have my father in my life. Just because of the fact that there's a lot of negative emotions that are attached to my relationship with him. And I felt that they just flood my personal life when things were trying to go back to the way things should be, I guess. And it had nothing to do with the fact that I was trans or gay or anything like that. It's just the type of relationship that we had, and it just didn't work. So, I still love my father, obviously. I'm his daughter, and, he doesn't understand everything that I do. He doesn't understand all the decisions that I make, but we don't talk. I've decided to, not keep in contact with him for the basic purpose that, to me, as harsh as it sounds, he is a sperm donor, and my real father is my stepfather, because he's the one that's taught me all of the valuable lessons in life. I am more like him than I am my own father. So, that being said, should you disown your parents, or your family, or your friends, whatever the case may be, I say that it's completely situational. There is no right or wrong answer for anybody. First of all, you have to realize that your family, your blood-related family, will love you no matter what. Because of the fact that you are trans or gay or however you identify, or a trans admirer, whatever, doesn't mean that your family does not love you. Your family will love you no matter what you do. There is nothing in the world that could make your family stop loving you. And that's really important to understand. It may feel like they don't love you, but you have to understand from their point of view, as your family, whatever you're going through, they feel negatively about it because they A, don't understand it, B, because of the fact that they feel if there is something that is different about you, you are going to be adversely judged by the rest of the world. And it's not necessarily what other people think of them as much as it's not so much about what people think of them, but how other people think your parents raised you, or your family has brought you up to be. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Don't get me wrong, they're not ashamed of you. They might use those words, but those are the wrong words. They don't understand it. They're not educated about it. They just want you to have the best, most able life that they can give you. And every parent, that is to have a normal life. And a normal life is to be a heterosexual, get married, have kids, get straight A's, have a well-paid job, all of those shenanigans, see the world. That's just what they want for you. And you have to understand that. I know in Samantha's case, there was a lot of trouble between her and her father. And she was saying that she doesn't really know how to approach it from the standpoint where she's talked to her father, or tried to talk to her father, and has still had a negative, comeback to how her father has reacted. And she said it's been a year. Now, I'm going to be really frank in saying Rome wasn't built in a day, and you cannot change people's opinion in a year. I feel that there is nothing more that you can do, and there's nothing more that you can say. It is scary, but ultimately your parent or family member has to learn about what it is properly. First, they need to come to terms with the fact that it's not their fault. They also have to come to the terms that it's not your fault. And they also have to come to the terms that there is nothing more that can be done or said to change who you are or who they are. And that is a heavy thing to deal with. When people change, it doesn't take just a year. It'll take however long that person takes to adapt to change. And for every single person and for every single scenario, it's completely different. And I think it's really important to just allow them to have their space, allow them to come to the conclusions that it's no one's fault, it's not their fault, there's nothing that can be done, there's nothing that can be said. But before you can begin educating them. And don't let them forget that you love them. Just remind them, I love you. You're a part of my life and I love you. That's all you can do. And when they're ready, they will come to you. Be like, look, I don't understand it. I feel like I've done all I can as a parent. I feel like, there's something I might have done wrong. And at that point, it's the time for you to say, I love you, no matter what has happened in the past or what will happen in the future. But there is nothing that you have done wrong as a parent to make me who I am. Now, this is what I am, and I think it's important that you learn about it so you at least understand it, because it's not a negative thing. And then from there, you can educate them on what it is to be transgendered or gay, and give your opinions and show them how, or tell them at least how you live your life. Then show them. Incorporate them back into their life slowly, because it takes time. It's a building process. It can take years. It's not going to be an overnight thing, and at some points during the relationship, things will seem very scary, but you just have to remember that time will heal. And you just have to start being you and just remind them that you love them. And when they're ready, they'll come to you. When they're ready in their own time, they will come to you. I can't guarantee that they will come to you tomorrow, in a month from now, in a year from now, maybe even 5 years from now. They could spend their entire life trying to figure it out. But in the same token, you still need to live your life, and you still need to do what's best for you. All that you can do and say at the end of the day is, I love you, you have made me who I am. It's not your fault. When you're ready to talk about it, I am here to talk about it. And sometimes that's what we have to do as children, is sometimes be the parent, especially for a subject that our parents aren't really knowledgeable about. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on this topic. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to send them to transyouthchannel@gmail.com. Also, tell me what you think of this video. Write a comment below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tell your friends about it. And next Thursday, I will see you all again. Again, if you want to find out more information about me, you can always go to my own channel, which is XO_OX. And I will see you all next week. Bye!